Hi there.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Hello, you guys. I am Nichole Wilson with Autism Moms Are Beautiful, and welcome to the Decaf segment. And I'm here with the fabulous autism mom, Belinda. Yes. So, Belinda, you know, she has been a mom for a long time. So, you know, some of us are autism moms, but then some of us are moms. She's been a mom for a long time. So we're going to get right into it with her, because I know she can tell y'all some things. Anyway, so how many kids do you have, Belinda?
I have 6.
See, I said that? She's been a mom for a long time. 6.
And a grandbaby.
She's been a mom for a long time. Y'all hear that? Okay. So anyway, you have 6 kids. How many are on the spectrum?
1.
And how old is the child that's on the spectrum?
He's 17.
He's 17. So is he in the middle or is he the oldest?
In the middle.
He's in the middle. So another question I have for you. Okay, your son. Did you want to use his name for the interview, or would you prefer just to?
That's fine.
You sure? Okay. And I remember you told me Sergio, correct? Sergio. That just sounds so like energetic. Sergio. Anyway, and I've heard some things that Sergio has done, but that's between me and her. So I'm sorry. If she wants you guys to know, she'll tell you. But anyway, so tell me a little bit about him, about Sergio.
Sergio, he's 17. He was diagnosed before the age of 5.
Okay.
He's nonverbal. He has anxiety.
Okay.
He has oh God, I don't know. He's just a handful.
He's a handful.
Yes, but these last couple of years, he's outgrown. He's came to himself.
Okay.
Like today, we're so proud of him that he himself initiated no headphone cancellations for school. So that's a big step.
That is a big step, you guys. We have a lot of our kids that really are sensitive to all types of sounds. And you'd be really surprised at what they're don't like, because I know that my daughter, there's a sound in Wheel of Fortune. I don't know what it is, but whenever it hits, she goes from 0 to 100, and eventually, yes, it changed because we kept playing the Wheel of Fortune over and over again. We really don't know what it was, but even people would say, well, what is it? I don't know. You know, it's just something that she hears that probably none of us are, you know, the other ones are not hearing, like my family's not hearing them, or I'm not hearing. So, but that's good to know that he's doing that. I'm sure that's
he has a lot of energy, and he loves to travel. That's something that we thought that he would never like, because I think we didn't travel for 8 years.
Wow.
And
so when you say travel, you mean like just you know, like rides? You mean like
no, he wants to go on an airplane. He wants he loves long distance traveling.
Oh, that is interesting, because you know, a lot of our kids don't like that. Like, was it a struggle for you to get him to the airport at first, or was it easy?
Well, the first time we ever flew, we didn't know what was going to happen. The only thing that we did have trouble was getting him on that boarding, where you board from the building to the airplane.
Because of the distance? Okay.
But he had his favorite blanket. He covered his head the whole time.
Oh,
he had it, so we made it really comfortable for him.
Okay, that's really good to know. So autism moms, I want you guys to hear this. Her son loves to travel. So some of you guys that are at home thinking that, man, I can't do anything, or we can't go anywhere, don't say that, because she said that they didn't even travel for like 8 years. So don't ever give up and think that what you can't do when your child is like 3 or 4, that you won't be able to do when your child is like 12. So keep that in mind, and also know that Belinda is an experienced autism mom. Okay, so if you're a part of our group, Autism Moms Are Beautiful, reach out to her if you're in doubt of the progress that our children can make, because you definitely want to talk to someone that has been in the game for a long time. Okay, the next question I have is, so are you married?
Yes.
Oh, look how she said that.
Yes. 20 years.
20 years. Look at that, y'all. And she's married for 20 years. So, like, how do you two balance all of this? I mean, I know it's probably hard sometimes.
It was hard. It's better now. I think at the beginning, when Sergio was diagnosed, a lot of my family, even my husband, didn't think Sergio had anything.
Right.
So it was kind of hard.
Normal.
It was kind of hard, because you are trying to make yourself think that there's nothing wrong, that eventually he's going to talk. that these are just bad habits or something. But now it's better. He kind of understands them more. He helps out a lot with our events here locally. So, but it wasn't, it's gotten better through time.
Okay. And I'm asking her these questions, you guys. Some stuff I already know, but because we want to share everyone's story to everyone, because you can actually, relate to someone else's story. But we actually interviewed her husband in Autism Moms Beautiful magazine. And I remember you were telling me that you couldn't believe, like, oh my goodness, he's really going to do this.
Well, because I never really knew. He doesn't talk about his emotions.
Right.
And especially about Sergio. I've really never known really how he felt until he answered all those questions.
Wow.
And I was just like, it was a tearjerker. I was like, oh.
Wow.
So, through so many years, about 12 years now, I know how I really felt about having a son on the spectrum.
And that's good to know too, autism moms, because there are some of us that do not have husbands, some of us are single, but we also want to encourage you to reach out to other moms like Belinda, who has been in the game for a long time, and the things that her and her husband do together, how they work together, how they've made it work regardless of having a child with autism, because that's really positive to know. The other question I want to ask you is, I know that we have different obstacles when it comes to our babies with school districts and doctor's offices. So what was one of your biggest obstacles?
With Sergio?
And it could be in school, it could be doctor's visits, and I don't mean with him, I mean per se, you wanting something that you couldn't get, you had to fight for it, you had to kind of go a little extra, to get what you needed.
To me, because I have so many children, my obstacle was making sure all my kids were equal. Like, I made sure that even though my kids thinking that we did so much for Sergio, I made sure Yaneli got into tumbling, got into cheerleading. I made sure that my boys were into sports, and we made all the events. We made all the practices. That was, I think, the hardest thing for me was to juggle all my kids and making sure that nobody was left out. And they couldn't do because we had to do for Sergio.
Exactly. I think that's really, really good to know, because I know that a lot of parents have stated or have said that they feel like they have neglected one over the other because they felt because their child was autistic they had to give more attention.
And my kids, they told me, well, before, that, because they always ask you that question, who do you love more?
Right.
And I was always tell them I love them all equally. They're like, no, you love Sergio more. I go, no. But then, that's the time we sat down and said, well, you get to do this.
Exactly.
You get to go to your friend's house. We listed all the things they could do, and he didn't get to do.
Exactly.
So my goal was to make sure he was active.
Exactly.
Because they could be active on their own, and he couldn't.
Exactly.
And they understood, and they were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because because my baby doesn't have any siblings. Ooh. I mean, I'm 41, but I don't know, maybe I can do some surrogacy. I don't know. I have to think about that one. But having siblings is really a plus, I think, because they can actually mimic a lot of their siblings. And my daughter just mimics me all the time. Like things like this that, I say things like, I'm going to need you to stop. So she mimics that. Oh, I'm going to need you to stop. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should work on that. Maybe. But she says that now all the time. So, but I don't know how to change that, but I guess, child, I'm tired. I don't have time to be trying to figure all that out. But anyway, what encouragement can you give other autism moms that are raising children on the spectrum and off the spectrum?
Just to love them unconditionally. I mean, I can honestly say that I think that's where Sergio is today, is because we just love him. Truly, truly love him. I could start crying right now, but I don't. But because
we love our babies, you guys. So
when we used to go to one therapy, I remember one of the therapists. He's like, "I'm not sure what you're doing at home, but whatever it is, just keep doing it." And I'm like, we just honestly just one day just like, okay, it is what it is.
Right.
We accept him how he is and how God gave him to us, and we just love on him and pray. I mean, just the little bittiest things. That's one thing that we've learned is to love the small things, not the big accomplishments, but the small accomplishments are like totally awesome for us.
Yes, I do agree.
The first time he actually, I don't know if I can say this, but the first time he used a restroom, standing up like a guy.
Right.
My kids were laughing at me because I was like cheering.
Exactly.
I was like, is that him using the restroom? And they're like, yes, Mom. And I'm like, is that him standing up? And they're like, yes. I was like, what? Wow. And that was like,
but people have to understand, you know, we want our babies to do so much, but we have to also give them the time that works for them. And when it happens, it's like people don't understand. I mean, it's like we've won the lottery. Like we really have won like $1 million, and we're going to jump and scream, and we could care less what anybody thinks, honey, because we're going to overwork it. We're going to be like, oh, you know, and we're going to like, do it again. Do it again. Go back in there and do it again, you know, or you be watching like, oh, they're going to do it again.
And that's one thing with Sergio, you can't get in his bubble. Like if you see him doing something on his own, we kind of like jump for joy quietly because then if we interrupt his moment, he shuts down. So I'm like, so we're like, what? But then we just go up to him, you know, fist bump. Good job, dude. You know.
I'm sorry, you know why I'm laughing? Because your bird, she had told me your bird was going to start talking to us once we started talking. And the bird is actually talking right now. So I'm kind of laughing inside about your bird.
He does that. He'll whistle too. He'll start singing. So
it's just so funny because she knows her bird. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in with us. Don't forget, we have Autism Moms Rock music video. It's on Facebook. It has over 28,000 views, and hopefully we'll get more. We also have the Autism Moms Are Beautiful magazine. This is our cover model, Miss Tracy. And you can go to www.issuu.com/Autism Moms Are Beautiful. So again, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.